Hey guys, this is Nia and this is another montage from my trip to Japan. Close to the final leg of my travel, I went to Hakone on a bus trip with my friend and followed up with a quick stop in Odawara before we head back to Zushi. When we arrived, we dropped by the lake first, which is one of the lakes surrounding Mount Fuji, and we took a stroll until we reached the cable cars to go up to the Sulfur Mines. I went there before back in high school, and back then we were allowed to go within the mines, but they changed the regulations since the fumes were at a dangerous level at some point, so we could only see from afar. I'm including a little bit of our cable car ride because the view was quite amazing. On the first leg, I was facing up the wrong way, and behind me was the lake, but it was quite packed, so I couldn't really get any of those shots. Before we left the mines, we had a look at a souvenir shop which has so many nicely designed things, including washi tapes, origami paper, and cloths to wrap around lunchboxes. I ended up buying 2 of the washi tapes here that you might have seen in my whole video. After we took a short trip by tram, we went to our Airbnb. This was one of the rides that I was actually looking forward to because I've watched a lot of videos during peak season when the tram is basically surrounded by hydrangeas, but sadly I came in a bit too late, so all the flowers were mostly brown and dying, so I didn't end up filming any of that ride. Before we went to the Airbnb, we stopped a bit for lunch at this really nice sushi place which specializes in inari sushi. Now that I think about it, I don't actually remember the name of the restaurant, but it was really nice, so we went there twice. This is also the place where I got my reference photo for the salmon bowl that I painted before. So after we had the meal, we were finally able to check in. The Airbnb that we stayed in was quite interesting. The name of this place is Aurora Guest House. The interior design is traditional meets modern and it has a very hipster vibe. The rooms was a bit stuffy and hot, so we had the door open to let some air in. Apart from that though, I think everything else was good. I love the view that we got and I really liked the well-designed interior decor. The service was also nice, the people there were friendly, and I enjoyed my stay in Hakone. On the first day, we walked around the area. This place was quite high up, so there were a lot of steep hills and it was quite tiring, but the view was really amazing. There were trees everywhere and small houses peeking through dense greeneries. It must be so humid to live there, but it was such an interesting sight. One of the places that we visited is a garden, but I guess we were off season again, so there were no flowers. But we walked on through with the help of Google Maps to an area where they had so many streams and small waterfall. We stayed there for a while, just enjoying nature, then we went back and searched for an onsen to go to. We ended up going to the onsen theme park, which was divided into 2 sections for the kids and adults, and we took the regular one, but obviously we weren't allowed to film because it was also quite packed. The next day, we went to an open air museum, which was a very short walk from the guest house that we stayed at. The museum was huge, it was very open with so many modern sculptures. They also had a Picasso gallery there, but we weren't allowed to film inside. I'm not the biggest fan of modern art fixtures, but the way the place has been set up makes the art look like it was part of the area. Everything was really well spread out, and it was really nice to just walk around and see all the interesting art they had displayed. Some of it were even interactive, like a maze shaped like a star that we could actually walk into. They also had a huge area that they turned into a very artsy playground for kids. So, overall, I think this museum was a really good experience. After we went to the open air museum, we collected our bags from the guest house, and before we headed back to Zushi, we took a short stop to see Odawara Castle. This was already fairly close to Zushi. I was also quite exhausted by then, so I didn't really go inside the castle. The weather was very hot and humid, and from the previous day and the many hills we climbed on top of the stairs we also climbed in Odawara, I was ready to just lie down and relax. So our trip to Odawara was short and relaxed. We walked around the Lotus Garden and had some soft serve ice cream and then just explored the area at our own pace. And then we headed back to Sushi.